Welcome to Alive on One, a miniature war games and hobby-centered podcast. I'm Nick Shaw, and with me today is Stephen Maddox.
Hey.
Stephen Bork.
Hey.
And our guest host for the evening, Matt Alix.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So today, our topic's going to be Web Warriors, but before we get into that, has anybody done any comics or read any comics this week?
No.
Definitely not.
No. All right. So it's just me. But I haven't read anything crazy. The only thing I've read is I've been reading the Defenders trade that we're going to have is a prize support for the tournament on it's the 14th. And just so everyone knows, that has been rolled back from a team tournament into just a standard tournament because we weren't able to get enough teams in on that.
And that'll be in 2 days from this release too. So this Saturday coming up, we're doing that.
Yep.
Also, we have a Discord that I forgot to write in our episode notes, but we just created a Discord. So the link will be below in the description of this episode. So feel free to join. We have a section for each faction. Your dogs are really excited about the Discord, Steven. But yeah, getting back to the comics.
Yeah. So I think it's just me this week. And like I said, I've really only been reading that Defenders book, and I think whoever gets it will enjoy it. So I'm excited about that. What about hobbies? I know personally I haven't had a chance to do anything lately. So what about you guys?
No, I started playing WoW again, so that's been all my free time. I've literally done nothing else. I haven't picked up a single model. I guess one thing, there goes my dog again. One thing that I did do is I did pick up a Galactus Homicide statue that we're going to use for a traveling prize support. So I put him together. It's like 4 pizzas, so it's kind of hobby-ish, but I haven't really done anything.
Yeah. I started painting and built Commander Farsight, so that's 40K, but what about you, Matt? Anything you're working on?
I'm working on some Age of Sigmar stuff. We have a team tournament that we're doing in October with some guys from the store, so I gotta have a painted army, so I'm working on that. But we also just finished up, I think this was the last week, an MCP league at our local store.
Oh, cool.
So I think it was 5 weeks. I don't know. I never know how many weeks I just play. But
you just show up. Nice. And on that note, too, maybe you have a character who was alive on 1 or living on 1 HP recently. Anything of note?
Well, I left my opponent's Loki alive on 1, and that wasn't good.
Yeah.
So he was alive on 2, but still close enough.
Close enough, yeah.
I had one where I had King T, because OG Black Panther was banned in our RAF League. So I was playing King T with M'Baku leadership on cubes, and I actually used Spirit of Wakanda for not gaining power, and I used it to heal him so that when he takes his cube damage, he would live on 1, so that he could, start of next round, I was able to attack Hela with the spender, so then I got the throw off, so like she didn't die because her soul token's activated, so I got the guaranteed throw, so I threw her into Sif, killed Sif, and then just attacked Hela again to do the 4 damage and killed her. So it was pretty good, and I actually used that card for something else. It was kind of funny because when I brought it up, Walls was like, wait, what? That heals? I'm like, yeah, it does other stuff besides power, but that's what everyone used it for.
Nice. My recent one, which I guess counts for Nick too.
Yeah.
We were up till the early hours of the morning getting rips in last night. So, but I forget who went into her, but Magic, I've been practicing New Mutants, and Magic was left on 1. And then she was able to move over and teleport. Because she was alive on 1, she was able to move over and teleport Apocalypse. Pretty much.
Tooth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Whatever. It shows how much I remember.
Well, it was late.
Yeah. Well, Sabretooth went into her.
Yeah, Sabretooth went into her. Yeah.
Yeah. Which should kill her, but here we are.
There was also a game where I rolled a 14 die attack and had 0 hits.
See? That's why you got to play Shield, so you have lots of little attacks, and you don't have to depend on a big die attack.
It was kind of upsetting, but
Okay, cool. So any other kind of announcements that maybe I'm forgetting?
Yeah, I would bring up real quick, Standoff tickets are live. So I made a Facebook event page. One confusing thing on it I'll point out is that we're doing the ticket sales through Best Coast Pairing, but then we're going to run it through Longshanks. So it's kind of awkward. You have to sign up through Best Coast Pairings, and then you can just sign up for the Longshank account there. I guess I'll put it out there if you can. Like, I was realizing, like, oh man, I don't know everyone's Longshank handle. Like when I look up random people that signed up. So if you want to like put it in your list, like when you're in BCP and say that it's your Longshank handle, that would make my life easier. Otherwise, I'll just figure out when we get to the event. But there's a Facebook page that I've shared around on all the major like groups, MCP groups around. So you can kind of follow it there, and I'll keep sharing it multiple times as we get up. But it's going to be our 2-day event here in Maine. I'm looking forward to it. I recently, I guess I won't say that yet, but one thing I want to do is I want to do like alternate 3D sculpts for people for models for prize support. So you're like, oh, you know, I always play Bill. Let's have a different version of Bill that you could win or, you know, get off as a raffle or something like that. So you have options when you're playing him and stuff like that.
Very cool. Very cool. And so without further ado, we have a tournament coming up. So we covered that. Discord covered that. Just trying to think of anything else I'm forgetting because sometimes
there's the Instagram.
Yep, follow us at Alive on One.
We're professionals here.
I don't think there's much else right now.
Well, we're going to maybe soon try to order some T-shirts and stuff. So maybe they can be expensive. So we'll see how that goes. But we're slowly growing.
Actually, I just remembered another one. We have that TTS for the Alive on One Discord tournament that we're going to be running.
That's right.
I don't remember the time frame off the top of my head.
Yeah, so late September, we're opening up on TTS. We're going to do a rated tournament for basically some Alive on One swag and to come on the episode and talk about your games or do a tournament recap episode with the winner. And essentially, we're opening it up kind of to international grounds. So there's 2 weeks to play your game. I understand scheduling can be tough, but maybe if you don't take it too seriously and you have to take the loss because you can't make it, that's totally fine. So, I mean, I'm signed up right now. My fall, I had a recent pretty big life change, so my fall is pretty busy. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm actually playing, but Nick signed up too. So we don't count for prize supporters where I was going with that. So, but yeah, it'll be an all online league. It should be a lot of fun. I will be running that, but not, possibly not playing. So, you can get to that link for that event through our Discord.
Another reason to join.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we've had some lively conversations on there. I mean, Matt, Alix chimed. I don't know why I said your full name. The only Matt on here, but
because my Longshanks name is my full name. I make it as easy as possible to find me on Longshanks.
But you had some interesting dialogue already around, the movie Elektra and that other terrible movie from Marvel. But yeah, I guess so. Without further ado, so today's topic, as Nick mentioned, we're going to dive into the faction Web Warriors, and we have Matt join us, who's pretty much not only our local, but you just hit like top 5 in Web Warriors.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I know. I look at that stuff probably more than I should sometimes, but I love the faction ratings. Yeah. But it's just nice to know who's using them. I think the faction numbers are more interesting because that's someone who's more committed to the faction,
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, without further ado, let's first start off with Matt, just run us through your own personal history on why you play webs, and then why play webs in general.
Yeah, so when I started MCP, it was during COVID, like a lot of people, and I was either going to go, my 2 favorite Marvel characters are Spiderman and Captain America, so I was either going to go Avengers or Web Warriors, but I chose Web Warriors because I like Spider-Man better, and that was back in the dark days before we even had Daredevil, so Very limited affiliated roster. But, I like them because they have a lot of tricks, right? I actually hate blue and magic, but I like Web Warriors. But, they have a lot of tricks. I like the characters, from a comic perspective as well. And I'll say it's next level MCP only because, right, when you first play, you just want to kill guys. That's all you want to do. But that's not necessarily Web Warriors' path to victory, right? They're scenario teams. They want to score points. So they're going to focus on the objectives. They're going to use all their tricks to try and outscore you, attack when they can, to try and get an upper hand, and play the game a little differently than say your Black Order or your your aggressive Avengers or those other teams.
Yeah. Dormammu,
yeah. So if you I would say if you want a game that's a little more scenario-y and don't want to avoid the trash that is Hellfire Club, then maybe Web Warriors is a team to give a try out to. And then their characters are pretty splashable in other rosters as well. So, there's some crossover with S.H.I.E.L.D. There's some crossover as far as splashing goes with, like you see Miles everywhere, you see Gwen in X-Men sometimes. So, you can use your characters for other stuff too pretty easy. They fit in.
Yeah. Yeah, I use them quite frequently in all my lists. So, quick question too: did you ever use the original starter box? Did you have to use him at first, the Spider-Man?
Because right, it was Miles, Gwen, Venom, and Core Box Spider-Man.
Was Core Box Spider-Man as bad as everyone said?
I mean, I think at the time he was okay, but he definitely has been outpaced by everything else. Even though they give him an extra point of stamina on his front side, it doesn't
matter. At one point, it really matters.
When you can take Core Box Spider-Man for 4 or Spectacular Spider-Man for 3, there's no reason not to take Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Once you're using Spider-Man for 1 more, right? He's phenomenally.
And Spectacular Spider-Man is such a better sculpt too.
Yeah, I had to. I have never even painted the Core Box Spider-Man. I painted the Spider-Man from the Rivals panel. I just couldn't.
Good idea. I forgot that existed, actually, to tell you the truth. I've never seen that in so long.
I know. It was the first one they did, and it didn't, it wasn't new characters. It was just resculpts of old characters. So,
yeah. Didn't do super well.
A lot of people were kind of like, whatever, don't need it.
Yeah. Well, then, do you want to run through your current list right now? Or, what is your, because I think every time I've seen you play, it's always been a different list. I don't know how much you really stick to one list or not.
Yeah, I don't. I'd like to change it up, but the one I played at the last event that we were at was Black Cat, Scarlet Spider, Spectacular Spider-Man, Miles, Ghost Spider, Silver Sable, Spider-Woman, Namor, Baron Zemo, and Wong.
Mm-hmm. Why? So I guess I want to go into some details there. So Silver Sable, when I played against you, I learned with grunts that you can actually use that card to gain victory points. Was that the reasons why she's in that list, or were you just trying her out, or was there a different play style you're looking for with her?
That's pretty much why she was there.
Yeah,
right.
That was really annoying.
If somebody's playing grunts, that's an easy victory point.
Yeah. And
I didn't do it in our game, but in other games I have comboed her and Spider-Woman. Right, so she'll daze a non-grunt. I get a point, then I interrogate for another point.
Oh, dude, that's dirty. That's really good. What about is it the Namor Zemo just because it's double reroll bubble like most other people are doing, blah blah blah, and so it kind of just fits in, or was it?
So I didn't take Namor that entire tournament at all. But he was just he was there for he's a safe midline grab if I needed it.
Yeah.
If I was going high points and I wanted to play with a 5, and then, depending on who I was playing against, right, the irreducible damage is nice, and then the reroll bubble on top of that. But I never ended up using him, and he's dropped anyway, I think.
Did you bring Amazing back? Or
Amazing current, because there's so many characters now, he goes in and out. Right, depending on what I feel like playing. Same thing with, Silver Sable, she'll go in and out depending on what I feel like playing too. I'm still kind of, Silver Sable's good for that because really, if I'm going to take her, I'm going to take her card, Sable International, trade an extra VP out of it.
Yeah.
But I think if I'm not doing that, then I don't see any reason to take her in Web Warriors, right? And adding 1 die to attacks isn't great. I have plenty of range 4 attacks, range 5, okay. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who do you usually, I guess like you must have the kind of a typical core set of characters. I mean, obviously that's mission dependent, but like, on average, what are you usually putting on the table depending on kind of threat level too?
Yeah, typically it starts with Miles, Spectacular Spider-Man, and Black Cat.
Black Cat, okay. I would have thought Ghost Spider, but I guess Black Cat has more uniqueness to her.
I've been trying to play more games without Ghost Spider. As everybody knows, she's dies pretty easy, right?
Mm-hmm. Dude, not me, Matt. Every time I've tried to kill her, when I played against you, she doesn't die.
But both games we played on Riots, and you, as your first segment, you leave her on 1.
Yep.
And then I heal her with the Riot and Wong. So
yeah, it's great.
I think it's great. Yeah, and because I have so many 3s, I can go pretty wide. If I need to, 17 can be Black Cat, Spectaculars, Miles, Ghost Spider, Baron Zemo, and Wong. But if you have ASM in there, right, you can do 4 3 threats and him if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
20 is nice to do 4 3 threats and 2 4 threats. So Scarlet Spider or Spider Woman or Silver Sable or Zemo if he's in there, or if it's not Zemo. Bill Beta Ray Bill if he's in there, or if it's a game I'm playing with Dr. Voodoo, if Dr. Voodoo's in there, or whatever 4 threats you get in there.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so, like, this is something I thought about recently because I've stopped doing it myself. The idea of like a core where it's like I always start with these 3 characters and go from there. Do you like subscribe to that where it's always these characters and go from there, or do you really like the way you're laying out? Like, oh, it's 20, it's this numbers are 3s and this numbers are 4s, and I kind of go off of that instead.
Yeah, I think really my core is Miles, right? That's who my leader is, and then the other characters, usually I'll take Black Cat just because she's pretty tanky and she can be a stagger bot if you need her to.
Yeah.
But I don't always take her either, right? So it's really, what are the numbers? What can I take? What do I want to do, right? What's the extract? What's the secure, right? Because if it's something like research or gamma, which wouldn't happen because I don't take either of those, but if it's something like, something where there's nothing to steal or there's limited objectives, then maybe I don't take Black Cat.
That was something that I feel like I made a shift on, and I feel like I got better as a player. Is I used to be like Nick Jr., Nick Sr., Iron Man every time, like no other questions, and I've stopped doing that. And I like actually think, hey, okay, what do I want to do? It helps now that I have Namor and I have like different leader options now. But I feel like when that happened, I was like, oh, I understand this game better, and the turn 0 plays I feel like are a lot different now. So I definitely think it's something for like people listening. It's something to think about sometimes, where sometimes that core is a helpful thing to learn the game and to like learn your matchups better and feel comfortable with your list, but don't let it limit you on stuff you do.
And then, you can always, I try do fun stuff sometimes. Like if I have Moon Knight and Mystique in there, then I'll run, 5 stealth characters at 16.
Oh, God, that sounds annoying.
It's sounds like Defenders a little bit. That's fun though. I agree with the core thing too, Steven. I think it's been a shift for myself too, especially when you start playing. I don't know. For me, it was like the dual affiliation list kind of forced you to start thinking about that. You're like, oh, when should I run this? When should I run that? On what against who? And knowing that. Yeah, basically your leader is like kind of your only mandatory piece. And if you're doing dual, it's like your 2 leaders. But
yeah. And then kind of going the next thing about, because I remember like we had a huge upheaval in tactics cards and nerfs and stuff like that recently, or quote unquote nerfs. We brought up Black Cat. That was one everyone talked about. She was nerfed, but I don't know about you, but do you feel like she truly was nerfed with that card change, or do you feel like she's even better? And then going forward with webs, do you feel like there is like a bunch of nerfs to your faction?
Well, I mean, right. So there were some things that I used to take like mission objective, which isn't there anymore, but also nobody can mark for death of me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I feel like generally it's an even switch out, some people took no matter the cost, that's gone. So you can't pop somebody turn 1 with a steal, but, which is fine, right? You just do it turn 2. I stopped using advanced R&D once we got Mass Menace. So, and I never really played it before that much anyway. You could do silly things on Paranoia where I steal your Paranoia that you grab on turn 1 and you only have 1. Because you could, with advanced R&D, you could have Wong meditate twice, assist enough power to Black Cat, then our advanced R&D a power to Black Cat, so she had 3. But I mean, I think advanced R&D is good as gone because you can't do silly tricks like that anymore.
I agree. So would you agree that it's like, hey, I think this is a healthy thing for the game where we're not just
100%.
Like
I think
nerfed into it. Yeah.
I don't think there was any problem with any of the tactics cards that were gone. I only lost in my regular lineup, really mission objective. I had no matter the cost in there sometimes, but I don't think I almost never played it.
Yeah.
So.
And I also thought it was something like, at least for me, because I do kind of miss Mark for Death sometimes, but it also felt like, oh, I'm playing against webs, I bring this card. And it was never actually like, know when to use it, right? And so I feel like I'm free from that now where it's like, oh, I can do other stuff. Like last time I brought Shield Mobile against you, and I was like, oh, I actually really like that against webs. So I can kind of reach forward more and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for that kind of stuff in the game where it's like, we're not just like sitting here on our laurels, not doing anything. And it's always kind of evolving, which is really nice.
And Mark for Death could create feel bads for the person using it too, because sometimes you just roll like crap and nothing happens anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So great. I spent a tactics card and I did nothing.
Hooray. Go ahead, Stephen.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, also on that kind of like new stuff, because we're in the next month or even just a week, we're about to see some new affiliations with new leaders. How do you think... I know the obvious answer to this is they're fine, but how do you think that will impact webs? Like Apocalypse, New Mutants, we just had New Asgard, Loki Asgard, and Lady Thor Asgard. So,
yeah, I think it's, you just have to... the basic game plan with webs, right, to counter anything is you have to use your tricks effectively, right? So using whether it's Spider Tracker or Lifesaver or, whatever else you have, making sure that you're using it in the right capacity, right? Because the worst thing you can do, happened to me before when I started playing, is I webline somebody with Gwen, and then I end up pulling them in range 3 of Miles, right? So then they can attack Miles, right? Mm-hmm. So I think, a big part of playing webs is having that kind of spatial awareness of ranges and what your things are going to do. And as long as you can do that appropriately, you're going to be fine against whatever the factions are, right?
So that's cool. So you don't really have like, oh, I'm going against these people, I'm worried about this, right? You kind of just view every single matchup as like, oh, I just kind of play what I play, and I feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, I think you have to, you play what you're going to play, like you're saying, but then you also have to, you learn by playing against these different factions or characters or, even individual models. And then, okay, what am I going to do against that, right? Like the first time I played against Namor, he did a bunch of damage. So the next game I played against him, I just kept him staggered the whole game, right? Because he has no way to clear conditions. Mm-hmm. So same thing with, new Loki. Oh man, I'm taking a bunch of damage from skulls. Okay, well, I'm going to make sure Baron Zemo has an objective, and he's going to be the only one that attacks with Master Swordsman, so I can at least get a chance to reroll my skulls.
That's right, because your webs. I forgot about that. I was like, wait, it doesn't make sense, but yeah, you could just reroll out of the skulls.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Oh, so that's really good. Yeah, that's really good against him. Mm-hmm. That's good to know. I should think that for myself too, where it's like, hey, I'm not always worried about like the matchup specifically, but I should just play the characters I know and play against what I see out there instead of worrying about I don't do good into this matchup versus that matchup.
And when I'm playing a new character, right, I look at the card and then I'll ask my opponent a bunch of questions during the game, like, so what does this go? You know, if Loki has 3 power and he needs 4 to do his spender, I'm not going to ping him with a impact weapon to try and push him away, because if he takes that damage, then he can spend it, or, you know, whoever it is.
Yeah, it makes sense. I guess that since we kind of answered, like, you don't really feel like you have any bad matchups. What's the matchup like into Hellfire, though, or into Webs, where you're playing another really heavy, like, objective-based team?
Or New Mutants now, too, because they're kind of like that as well.
Yeah, I haven't played into New Mutants yet. Hellfire, you know, you have to be careful about ranges and, you know, don't attack somebody unless they've already used their leadership, and either you're going to take them out, or, you know, don't be wary of their power levels, right? I mean, they can't do it anymore, right? On turn 1, right, it could robbery somebody, you know, no problem, right? Now it's a little more of a, at least I have to wait till turn 2 to do it, but that gives you time to get ready to, you know, get that off of them. I mean, just, I think, you know, for Hellfire, it's just like anybody else, right? Kill Emma. Just try and kill her as quick as soon as you can. Get her off the table.
So the leadership's gone. You don't have to worry about it. And then you're just playing like random people that are on a list. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, there's other, like, X-Force can be really tough if they're rolling well, because they have so many rerolls into you, right? But it's the same thing, right? You got to be wary of your ranges, like I was talking about before, and, you know, stagger them, take them out. Like Psylocke, like, she has to go right away, right? Same thing with, like, I've been playing against Criminal Syndicate with New Loki, and it's just Loki has to die, like, he has to go.
Criminal Syndicate with New Loki. I haven't seen that yet. We're going to sidetrack here. What is in that?
So the last game I played against it was Loki, Blob, Kingpin, Bullseye, and Hood.
Interesting. Okay, that sounds kind of cool.
I mean, it was Phil Donju, you know, who just takes weird stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, you know, it was good, right? Because I would pull somebody off a point, and then he would use Loki's teleport, just teleport him back on. I was like, oh, right, okay.
You're like, cool, that's annoying.
yeah.
Good old Phil, the other Dark Dimension guy in our area.
He's less of one, though, because he keeps not bringing them.
Well, he doesn't want to steal your thunder, that's all.
Oh, right. I'm stealing his thunder, to be fair.
So I know they're not out yet, but I'm kind of curious, what do you think the play into New Mutants will be? Because me and Bork were playing it last night, and it seems like, because Webs has a lot of displacement through their attacks, and New Mutants can just move a character up when you make that attack. Do you think that's going to be an issue, or...
What is their leadership again?
So after an attack is resolved, one character who wasn't the targeted character spends a power to teleport within one of the targeted character.
And it's range 3.
Yeah.
A character who wasn't the targeted character spends one to teleport within range 1 of the targeted character. Got it. So if I webline you and push you off a point, you teleport somebody within 1, I have 2 power to pull that person off the point. Yeah.
You're just so stacked on the ability to displace with other things.
Yeah, and I mean,
that's a good point.
You know, it's right. If I'm pushing you away or kicking you away, depending on how the setup is, I can maybe push you or you know, throw you outside of 3.
Yeah, so you can actually teleport,
right? Because I'm controlling that part of it.
So it really goes back to what you talked about earlier, where it's just like knowing your distances and knowing kind of how the board state is, and you just kind of try to avoid it as best as possible.
Yeah, you just do what you can.
Yeah,
you know, and I'll have to get some games into it to see how it goes. But I mean, and then of course, right, your opponent, same thing. A New Mutants player could have multiple characters in line to use that leadership, but you know, it's just displacement is nice, but it's not for me their only trick, right? Like a lot of people will move up and kick with Miles and try and knock somebody off a point. I'll just double move on to the point to contest it for a turn, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so you got, again, it's got, you know, Webs is not a pick up and play faction, right? You need to. There's a lot of decision points in there, and ranges, and knowing where stealth is and how that's going to be affected. I think that's why you see, especially since they've been getting more traction lately, a lot of people pick up and play, and then after 2 games, they drop it in the TTS league or don't do so well in an event because it's not something you like old Cosmic Ghost Rider where you could just pick it up and
click and shoot. I definitely agree with that because playing into them as well, especially against a good player, it definitely feels like a different kind of game where I have to play the game differently myself than I usually do, which is cool that faction exists in the game, I have to say, because I definitely feel like playing into them, it's very much more, I don't know, I have to be a lot more aggro with it and really run at you. And because if I just sit back and try to play defensive, you're just going to win on points because you score through the roof really fast. And speaking of that, the tempo of the game is also, I feel a lot quicker, which is probably the whole reason for, I'm assuming you do a lot, what's it called? Extracts with high score. So you're scoring fast, right?
Yeah, I have a 4, 5, and a 6.
Yeah.
On extracts. So.
Yeah, because you just want to pick them all up, score as fast as you can, do the steal. Do you feel like it's because longevity? If you get stuck into a slow scoring game, do you just not have the staying power, or is it just easier just to score fast? If that makes sense.
I think it's easy to score fast, right? If depending on the list configuration, you have 2 to 3 steals, and if it's a spider infector or something, right? You can get an easy midline grab just to get that right off the bat. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to rack up the score pretty quickly.
Yeah. Which makes it challenging because it's very the tempo is very fast and sometimes you're on the back foot and it feels hard to spin it back. I also realized you have so many in-affiliation steals. I was hi, 3? Yeah, you do have 3. It's wild that you have 3 in-affiliation steals.
Yeah, Miles, Black Cat, and
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman.
Yeah, it's good. So for listeners and stuff playing into webs, is there certain things that you think people should bring into webs or a play style they should bring into that matchup to put them at a better advantage going forward?
It's tough, right? Because obviously, right, Age of Venom, fantastic into web wars, right? Yeah. What happens when you roll horribly, or that happened in our game, right? You shot with Age of Venom, you either rolled poorly or the couple times you rolled well, I rolled decently enough and my blocks didn't matter.
Because he's still just a 5-die attack. You don't get a spinner off super often. So it's okay, cool, you can't reroll against my 5-die attack, which is not a monumental shift. Yeah.
And now that I have in faction energy attacks too, that helps me out. But I think you have to be, again, right, just I have to know my ranges and all that stuff. As an opponent, you need to know all that stuff too, right? Okay, be aware of things like Spider Tracker and Webline. I felt horrible, but at Adepticon, I was playing a guy who had, what was he playing? Asgard. So he charged with Thor, and I Spider Trackered. Then he did it again the next turn, and I Weblined.
Oh, man. That poor little Thor running around trying to do something.
Yeah. You have to be aware of the tricks they have and what they can do, how they can get out of attacks, and be ready to, deal with those. If you can get, don't do that thing everybody does, right? When you stay at max range of an attack, if your opponent has Webline ready to go. Mm-hmm. Or, the thing that a lot of people do, which is just stand in between that model and Ghost Spider because it's pulled towards, right? So they can't go anywhere.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So just, really have to be aware of their tricks, like I said, and what they can do, and try and manage their power. If you don't have to attack them, don't, because once they get power, that's when they really start.
Yeah. Good. Unless you're going in there actually fully daze or KO a model, don't just ping stuff on them randomly.
I
agree. Because Miles with
tough, right? Because sometimes chip damage is okay, but if it's gonna, if you are gonna hit Miles, for 1 with Bullseye, and then next turn that puts me at 5 power, so I can web swing and zap a guy.
Yep. huge difference, right? Versus like, oh, he could walk, steal, but then he's stuck there kind of thing. Yeah, it's a huge difference.
Walk, steal, the 3 to 4 powers is a big jump because then not only can I steal, I can pick it up.
So would you say, like, when you listen to people talk about webs, a lot of people talk like, oh, you bring Agent Venom because he ignores rerolls, you bring Mystic Attackers. Would you just say, hey, it's probably more important to just know what webs does and then try to like not let them play that style? Like that's the more important thing, and you shouldn't pigeonhole into like, I need a Mystic Attacker, I need this, I need that kind of thing instead?
I mean, so Mystic Attacks are great against anybody that has spider senses.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else still gets their 1 die reroll, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, right? If you put Dr. Voodoo down before I put Miles down, he's probably going to be on the other side of the board.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. Or if it's somebody like, some of the other convocation characters that have 2 physical defense, great. I'm probably going to kill you before you kill me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not, it's not a bad thing to have Mystic. I think that's something you always consider when you make your roster is, should I pack a Mystic Attack for some of this stuff? But characters like Age of Venom, anybody that doesn't have rerolls, anybody that hits big, right? Like Juggernaut, right? Actually Juggernaut's a great character because I can't move him unless I take somebody with a size 4 throw, and he hits hard enough. 8 dice is nothing. 8 dice with a push is nothing to sneeze at too. So.
Definitely not. No.
Lots of throws, right? Because throws is just automatic damage. So Magneto can be a pain in the ass. Or if you just have, sorry, I don't know if you guys swear in here or not, but
we do. It's fine.
Okay. But any roster that can pack a bunch of throws, because if your Web Warrior's opponent leaves something out in the open that you can get a clean throw at, automatic damage is better than no damage, and they don't get the reroll on dodges either, right? It's just defense rolls. So.
Yeah, makes sense. So you're saying the stuff I don't have in my list. Got it. Because I don't have a lot of throws.
Doesn't have.
Yeah. And then we talked about this kind of briefly here and there, but like if you were saying, like, say somebody came up to you, like brand new player, like, hey, I really want to play webs. Do you have like a couple sentences you would say on like, hey, this is how you should play them, if that makes sense?
I would probably try and use you're the blue deck of MCP.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to try and stall your opponent out while you're getting your own win condition going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, and we're just in a weird spot right now where Amazing Spider-Man isn't great for a leader, but before we get this heavy wave of attrition, he was an excellent leader. So I'm hoping that comes back around too. So don't discount him either. And we get the Web or Spider-Verse box coming sometime next year. So.
Yeah, I figured Miguel will probably be a leader, right? If it feels right.
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, what is this box you speak of?
Oh, yeah.
They showed it. They gave a little snip of it. All we saw was Spider-Man 2099.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But it's supposed to be, it's an affiliation box, or so it's going to be, I think, a 4-character box like all the other boxes, but we don't know who else is in there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so Steven usually is the one who sends me the new stuff, and otherwise I just miss it.
I sent you a picture of him, and you thought it was a symbiote, and I was like, "No, that's Spider-Man 2099, sir."
Well, I was just hoping it was a symbiote. I really want them to do that,
Speaking of hoping, and
good.
All right, you first.
I was going to say, they've gotten a lot of characters recently, right? Over the last year, there's a big. Long time where they didn't really get anything new, but we just got Gwenom and Scarlet Spider and now Silver Sable. So I think there's room to work on the sort of attrition list for Web Warriors 2, where you want to kind of beat people up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. My question is, what do you feel like? Do you feel like Webs is missing anything? Like, is there anything like that you can't really do as a Webs player that you would want to do, or is it like, hey, maybe I'm missing like a 6-threat model, but like I don't really need it for that affiliation?
I think affiliated, and I could be I think the only terrain throws are the Venom, right? Gwenom, Asian Venom, and then Core Peter Parker.
Core Peter Parker has a terrain throw?
I think it's only a size 2, though. It's pretty small.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, because he could, whip cars around.
Oh, fancy. Okay, so more like actual terrain throws versus character throws?
just even, I mean, a lot of the character throws are, Scarlet Spider has one, and then a lot of them are off triggers, right? A lot of our stuff is off triggers. I mean, that's another thing too, right? If you're playing Web Warriors and you don't roll any wilds, you're in trouble.
That's a good point.
Because nothing's going to happen. But, and I don't know, it's tough to figure out who it would be, but somebody with a size 4 terrain or character throw would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, bring a new Venom in or something like that, right? That's easy to do.
Cosmic Spider-Man, that's fine. We can do that.
Yeah.
But that's why you'd splash Bill, I'm guessing, right? Or you do
splash
probably.
Bill, or I mean, I used to play Hulk, right? I used to splash Hulk in there. But I mean, there's so many characters now that I'm kind of spoiled for choice. But I used to have Thanos on my list. I never play him, but you would know that I had Thanos and could possibly play him. Right? Same thing with Hulk. Like I would take him occasionally, but still, he's in there. And there are people that are so afraid of Hulk that they're going to take their anti-Hulk things, and then it's okay. Well, I have a bunch of 3 threats. So
yeah, it's like you have Iron Man, you bring Helios Laser. All right, there's my 3 threats. You're like, damn.
Yep, great.
I guess like a nuke.
You can go
one
ahead and
guy.
zap one of my 5 damage guys. Go for it.
We got Nick or Steven. Do you guys have any other questions about webs or play styles or how to play into them or anything like that?
I guess also because we didn't really do this, just kind of run us through what missions you do take, like specifically, usually, and then your tactics cards and stuff that are typical,
So right now I have Super Proud Scoundrels, Riots, and Cosmic Invasion for Secures. Then I have Spider Infected, Skrulls Infiltrate World Leadership, and Mutant Extremists Target U.S. Senators. And I put Mutant Extremists Target U.S. Senators back in because Deception's gone.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you do well with that too, because you have so many web swings and stuff. Like, I can only move once. That doesn't really care.
Yeah, I have enough alternate ways to move, and again, enough steals, right? So if you're only moving once and I can get enough power, you're easy enough to chase down.
Yeah.
And then Spider Infected is, it's a 5. I don't take cubes because I don't like doing damage to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not upset if you have it because more than likely that means I have priority and took my secures. So I'll take the middle one, and at least I get a turnabout Maze weak kicks.
Yeah, that's true.
And if we get cubes and riots, then I'm fine. I don't care.
Oh God, yeah.
And Scoundrels, like I said, it's right. It's 5 VP on the board.
Yeah. So just all like the higher scoring stuff. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Displacement, Riots for healing, and then Cosmic Invasion. That one, I don't like Infinity Form because it's the bees is so close, so it's tough to get away if I need to. And then this has the potential for extra power for me and my opponent, and also it's a 16 threat, which some people find weird.
It is a weird one. That's a good point. What about tactics cards? Or what's your usual, I guess you could say? Yeah,
so I take the web versions, right? All webbed up. Masked Menace, Spider Tracker, Maze weak kicks, and the Cat and the Spider. And then for restricted, it's Brace, still Brace, right? Everybody takes Brace.
Yeah.
And I'm waffling between Patch Up and Indomitable.
Do you feel like you get play out of Patch Up with all little 5 health wieners, or is it still worth it when you play it?
Right, because you can Wong could heal 4 damage off somebody.
Oh, that's
right,
true.
he meditates twice, spends 1 to heal 2, then patches up for 2 more.
Oh God.
If I need to, or and again, it depends on the characters I'm taking too.
Yeah.
Right, obviously, this is the Namor list, so he's going to have a bunch of power, or might want to heal him with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had Sable International, right, because it was Silver Sable.
Mm-hmm.
I had Princess Protection because I had Namor in there.
Did you ever watch the battle report on RSMP where I try to play that card?
I didn't. I'll have to watch it.
Oh, dude, I played Princess Protection, and Amazing Spider-Man was attacking Namor, and I'd misheard, and I thought it was just a normal builder, but it was a spender. So I had Princess Protection, Namor in front of Nick Jr., and he took 8 damage and just died. I was like, all right, cool. Fuck that card, because he hadn't activated yet.
And then my last one was Fallback, because that's still a good.
Yeah, that's just a good card in general. You played against me very well, where I moved up Agent Venom to be like, oh, cool, I'm going to double tap into Miles, hopefully drop him. I shot you once and you fell back into stealth range. I was like, damn it. That was a really good play. Like, fall back with a stealth character. Super good.
That's another trick, right? Just, okay, I'm going to move just outside of range 3. You've already web swung. So.
Yeah. So you're saying if I just play you enough times, that eventually I'll learn everything you can do. I can stay ahead of it.
Yeah. So also, Matt, before I think the plan here too is just kind of go through in affiliation tier list towards the end of this episode. But do you have anything that you would like to say about webs in general, or less thoughts?
I think as far as carrying them goes, right, scenario is always important. As we know, right, we hate web warriors just like a lot of people hate demons, but if it's good for you, right, and things like Gamma or researcher, if you have a strong team for researcher, hopefully that'll go away soon enough.
What do you mean? It's a great card, a great crisis.
And things like alien ship, right? Because if it can be tough, right? If you hit me and I have damage on them, I want to run away. I might end up killing myself somewhere on the other side of the board anyway. So.
What do you think about webs on pay to flips? And I mean, I know they're not completely nerfed by that, but
I mean, they're okay. It's there are turns where Amazing Spider-Man is going to flip 3, right? Because he'll roll his 4 defense, he'll move, he'll get a crit. He'll be start on 1, get a crit, move to the next one, get a crit, walk and web swing over the last one, get it, and flip that one too. So that's great. But I think like everybody else, right? I think web warriors, they need their power. So it's a little bit, I don't like to see pay to flips. And usually if you're seeing pay to flips, it's somebody like X-Men who's going to be flipping them for free the first turn anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm also at a point where I can go wide enough that having to give up, if there's 4 extracts and 4 pay to flips, I should be able to have 4 characters that can, spend power the first turn. So
that's a good point. Yeah. If you're in trouble, just go wide. Just have more things.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
These days in the way the meta is currently, I think, going wide is usually a better choice anyway.
Yeah. I think the Danger Room said that recently. Or one of the podcasts I was listening to said that. It's like, if you feel like you're seeing a better player, usually they're going very wide on something recently in this meta.
Yeah, you can't kill them all. You can kill half of them, but you can't kill all of them. So.
Well, cool. Steve and Nick, anything else? Or Matt, anything else before we jump into a tier list?
If you hate playing against them, try playing them.
Hey, that's a good way of learning it, right? If you're talking about just learn how they play, and you'll probably have a better time playing against them.
And I think that's, everybody now likes to say web warriors are they're broken. I don't think they're broken. I think you just don't know how to play into them.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I don't think they're broken. I think they're good. They have really high ceiling. That you it has to be a good player. I don't think a newbie into the game can just pick up webs and run train. They have to take a lot of learning to actually play them well.
Yeah. And on that note too, I think when you first start playing the game, just like 40K or some of the other game systems, you start off with attrition essentially. Yeah. And you're like, I just want to kill stuff. And then as Matt mentioned earlier in the episode, when you start to level up your game, you're like, oh, I have to play this a bit differently. Mm-hmm. So they're definitely on that playing differently end, in my opinion.
All right, cool. So, wow, that's all the tier list for webs.
Oh no, this is so okay. None of our listeners will be able to see this, but I just pulled up all the characters in webs, yeah. And we can walk through them and place them in a tier verbally. And so, Matt, kind of how we like to do this too is so S is like you almost always take. We're not talking about being broken. We're not talking about overpowered, but they're kind of like the S and A are kind of the core of your list. B's are usually your tech pieces, and then C, D, and E are kind of all lumped together under different levels of why would you ever take this. So we can just start off walking, with start off alphabetically, I guess. So this is Agent Venom.
I would say he's probably a B.
Do you use him in lists against, if you're going to see other webs?
So I don't try to tech my list for whoever I'm playing against. I just, bring what I'm going to bring and try and figure it out. But if you want to be playing more attrition style webs, you definitely want, I think, all the Venoms, right? But he's got a great beam attack that can do, some damage to other guys nearby. His beam attack with all webbed up is insane. It's
a 10 die attack then. It's pretty good.
Yep, yeah. So like on a Gamma where he's got the power and all webbed up pops off, 3 10 die attacks with the splash damage going on. It's great. It's fantastic.
Yes.
But if your opponent has energy attacks, you're in trouble.
I know.
It's like any symbiote character. You're not, So I play him once in a while, but generally with the 14, 15 characters they have now, he's now usually out of the list.
Yeah.
But like I said, if we get some more attrition focused characters with that next box, he could just become part of the rotation. I don't like using one of my 10 characters to take something just to play against something else. One other list, right?
That's a good point.
For me, I think that's kind of a waste of a character slot.
Interesting. I do that very much.
Yeah, I do that too. So, okay, I had a question in my mind too, but I'll ask it when we get to Gwenom Venom because I'll just ask it now. So, in the Raft League that Midgard was doing over the summer that I was playing in, because all the webs characters ended up getting banned week 2, I tried out an interesting Gwenom Venom where they target Gwenom, you lethal protect with Venom, and then you just smack back. It didn't work out well for me, but have you tried that at any time?
I tried the double smack back in a couple games. It went off once, and it was, it's Venom, so if you roll bad, it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. That was my experience with it. So.
Which is why Venom, with his slow movement, well, we'll talk about where he places later, but...
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to Amazing. Especially keep in mind here, I guess, Namor. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on why you would take one over the other.
Yeah, I think he hovers between A and B for me. The reason that you take Namor instead is because then you can just take Spectacular Spiderman without having to worry about it. Right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because if you have both, they're both Peter Parker, so you can only take one or the other. You can't run both on a list. But if you're planning to play ASM, right, he's a great, midline and go to a point grab, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you need, I think safe midline grabs are way overvalued, but if you need one, he's there. He can do that easily, right? That's the only affiliate character that they have that can do it. He hits hard if you roll okay. But getting, once they added that, getting a power whenever you roll a crit, and dropped his spender by 1, it made him a much more viable character for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That model's a pain in the ass to paint, though, just FYI. For those who haven't painted it.
And he's so fast, right? Because he has long move and web swing.
Yeah.
On a 50 mil base. So you can't get away from him if he's trying to chase you down. If you're Toad, you can't get away.
Okay, so I agree. It's just funny to think about. But so moving on to Black Cat, and you said you take her a lot. So.
Yeah, she's S. If anybody in this faction needs to be looked at again, I would say it's probably Black Cat. The no exploding crits and no rerolls can be pretty brutal on your opponent for sure.
Yeah, for such a little tiny 3 threat that has no health, you're wow, she does not die. It's so annoying.
They did make her steal in action, so she can't. what she used to be able to do was steal and double move away, which was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think the funny thing about Wood Warriors, just a little small sidetrack, is everybody remembers when you block 6 hits on 3 dice, but they forget the dozens of times that you block 1 on 3 dice with a reroll. You know what I mean?
You always remember the good dice, not the or you always remember like the crazy stuff, not the average stuff.
Yeah.
And I do feel like
she's definitely especially with the stagger, right? That's another huge buff for her.
That's what I was gonna say. That stagger is just like, oh great, there's a giant kaiju across the board. I'm just gonna stagger it to oblivion. You're like, cool, thanks. So
I mean, when I used to run Hulk, going to Malekith with Amazing Spider-Man, Hulk, and Black Cat. Okay, I stagger you, then Hulk double walks up. I slow you because of Amazing Spider-Man's leadership. Then I throw you medium.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the nice little tricks if you do Amazing Spider-Man Hulk is he can double walk, slow somebody, and throw them.
Oh, damn. I never thought about that. Yeah. I've actually never seen Amazing Spider-Man leadership played once. So it's kind of cool to hear that actually a use there.
But
yeah, so the next character alphabetically is Daredevil. Not sure I've ever seen one of your lists with him in it. So
it depends. Am I doing a Web Warriors Defenders dual roster? Then he's an A. If I'm not, he's a C.
Right. Okay. So we'll just put him in C for the purposes of this episode.
I think his area attack is cool. He's got a wild pull, but he's still only 4 threat. I mean, he's still 4 threat. That's just still kind of expensive, and when you weigh him against the other 4 threat options that are available,
yeah, he's great. Especially against Ben. I think Ben just wins that battle.
Yeah, he does it better, right?
Yeah. And then this is kind of an obvious one too, or maybe less obvious. I don't know. Ghost Spider, Gwen. I really like her. She's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I think she's an A for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put her in S just because she does die pretty easy, right? She has no defensive tech outside of the leadership reroll, and she's got 3 dice and 5 health. So.
Yeah, and she doesn't have stealth, which is a bummer.
No defensive tech, no stealth, no other rerolls.
How broken would she be if she has stealth?
Especially if her pull was still range 4.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. She does. Yeah, but she does bring web line, impact webbing, and lifesaver to the board. So that's what gets her to A.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the next character is her symbiote variant, Gwenom.
Right now, I think she's a B for me. I know there are some people that run her in their Web Warriors list. And she has, she still has Gwen's ability of if I move and make an attack, I can move again, which is great. So she can get really far across the board. And she's got this is one of the few terrain throws. And she has, as you mentioned before, right, she can counterattack if you attack a friendly close by. But I think you're right. If she's better if you're going to go for an attrition focused Web Warriors list.
Mm. Yeah, I never thought about the terrain throws piece, but that's definitely an interesting reason to include her in your 10 at the very least.
Yeah, I think it's terrain or character, but terrain. I mean, I think terrain throws are pretty important for any list to have somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it builds everywhere. So
yeah.
You brought up a good point too. Sorry to jump on that. You talked about how you're kind of squishy if you get a bunch of stuff thrown into you. Well, it's helpful if you can throw it first and then not have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with throwing a size 3 into a size 2 to give your opponent 2 less things to throw at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next character is Moon Knight. I've never seen him on the table, so
I used to use him all the time.
Cool.
I think he's a B, I would say now. He's got stealth and he has a range for attack with rapid fire, so that's nice, right? Attacking from where you can't be hit. If he's got his multiple personality that gets you extra dice or extra power or the extra move. And his spender, right? He has a mystic spender, 7 dice. he may push you short away, then he places within 1. So he can get very far across the board.
Huh. I don't think I've read his card in like a year.
Yeah, so with that spender, and there's he can, especially if he has the power to double spender, right? Because his rapid fire attack automatically gives him a power every time. So if you get the rapid fire off with his throwing crescents, it's 2 power right there, and it's I not hit like a lot of people. But yeah, his spender is range 3, and he can only push size 2 or less. But yeah, he can push and then place within 1, so he can get pretty far.
Yeah.
And then he also, if you're close, he has the bow staff that can stagger somebody, and you can reroll all his dice.
Oh my god, I didn't know he had a stagger. That's funny. Steven, why is he not on your defenders list?
I've looked at him, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. There's a couple of reasons, like taking other characters over him, but I am interested, Matt, when you look at a mission or game, I guess, the general game, and you're like, this is Moon Knight fits here.
So Moon Knight is great on extracts that have wide on the center, like hammers or virus, on the side that I'm not going to grab.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I will walk forward and I will throw crescents at you and start to do damage to whoever you had picked that thing up.
When you played him, did you bring a bunch of crescent rolls to give to your opponent as you threw?
No, but years ago, he's great for advanced R&D too, right? Because I walk up, I throw. If I get the rapid fire, I hit you again. I have 3 power. If I get an extra power at the beginning of the turn for my roll, I have 4 power that I can give out with advanced R&D.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a good point.
Oh wow, yeah.
Glad that's gone.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And actually, I had in the dark days of MCP, we'll call them, all webbed up. Moon Knight, all you've got, just take out She-Hulk from 20 health.
That's about right.
Oh boy, that's super cool. Yeah, I've personally thought about Moon Knight a few times. Hasn't seen the table. I did bring him in a 10 once for a game. He just didn't get played, but I've kind of always wanted to use him. So.
when I look at 10 characters, he's like in that sort of 11-12 area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right on the edge.
Yeah, that's how he feels with defenders too. I'm like, well, there's someone else that's going to do what I need to do slightly better. So, but yeah. So the next character is that new box, Scarlet Spider or Ben. I personally love his rules set. So, yeah,
I think right now he's B to A, somewhere in there. I'm not sure where he's landed yet. I mean, right, as I think I've shown you, Steven, his web whip is stupid.
It's really annoying. Mm-hmm.
Web whip is, with his impact webbing, is basically I take one of your midline secures from you. Because with the range, it's close enough that he can move up. Impact webbing somebody to get the 2 power, then web whip, so I pull you towards me short, then I place on one of you, which pulls you off the point and puts me on the point.
Yeah, and I feel like he's such a good last activation character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
You're just like, I'm gonna swing this 2 point in my favor, take you off a point, 2-point swing right there. Like you can't do anything in response to it.
And he has amazing Spider-Man's spender. For 1 more power, right? What it used to be, right? It's 5, but that's a pretty 8-die attack with a medium move, and then if you get a wild, a size 2 throw before or after you make your medium move. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, sure. Not at all. And I don't know why.
A size 3 throw, character throw. So he he has spider senses, right? So he packs a lot of stuff for sure.
I don't know why, when he was coming out, people are like, oh, he's only a medium move. He's not good. I'm like, does he have to be a long move? His kit, I think, is pretty good. It sustains itself pretty well.
Yeah, he's a little he doesn't have a web swing, but he's only a medium move. But I mean, he has ways to get around for sure, right? Web whip is nice to take a point, but it's also nice just to get into a better position.
Yep.
Yeah. I personally really like his rule set. Oh, that reminds me, actually, that something I was going to say that totally forgot is I remember when I So I don't know. I was playing MCP for about a year before I decided to try even webs once, and I just remember reading the cards and being like, "Holy mother of God!" like versus a normal card, you read a Web Warriors card, and there's just so many superpowers, so many rules.
It was a lot of stuff on a lot of those cards.
Yeah, I was like, these are so long. It was kind of funny, but I guess moving on to Solar Sable.
She's a B, C area right now. I'm still trying to figure her out. It's great if I can get an extra point out of it. But other than that, I don't see any point in taking her if you're not going to take Sable International.
Right. So you take her, you probably play her when you see, like Shield, for example, is the best one because you're going to have a grunt leader.
Yeah, anybody that's going to have grunts, or I'll pair her up, like I said, with Spider-Woman and try and pull that off for the double points off of days. But I don't know. Again, right? Probably better in an attrition list. But especially because she gets the bonus dice if she's on a size 3 terrain. So if something like that is near a point and you can get onto it, that's great. But I haven't played a game yet where that's impossible. So.
Yeah, same. I feel like for her, if she was like toned down at a 3 threat, but had like the same kind of functionality, that'd be like she'd be really, really good. But I feel like it's hard for a 4 threat to be like, I'm going to sit in the back and pew pew people. But I don't know. It just made me.
And she's got some neat rules, like she has out of phase movement, right? Or not out of phase movement, but she can move one of your other characters on her turn, right? She can move short towards her. She can give people extra dice when they attack, but
including herself, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, but I think she's just for an extra VP to squeeze out. So
yeah, that makes sense, especially for your like webs where you're like, hey, I'm really fast tempo, I want to score really quickly. That's a huge benefit.
Yeah. So next we have Spectacular from the new core box.
Yeah, he's an A for sure. He's got 3 threat, web swing.
He's not an S?
He has, because I don't take him all the time.
All right, I guess.
But if he is in range within range through somebody, you can guarantee 2 attacks and a throw, right? No problem. Because all his attacks are gainers, or whatever. Gainers. Right? So he's always getting one flat power, and his throw is 3. So we'll start with 1. He'll get the 2 other ones, then he can throw short.
Yeah. I think actually, because I play him in Shield a lot because he's affiliated in Shield. Having it where like you just know what his power generation is going to be is very nice, I have to say. It's like, oh, I can just depend on this. I don't have to worry about like spiking dice, and I can just do the little technical things I want him to do.
Yeah, very easy to plan with him for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so we have about 4 characters left. One of them is the original Spider-Man, the 4th threat.
What's the lowest
the best
we got here?
Yeah, E, I guess. C through E are basically the same kind of.
E, he's definitely before compared to all the other characters, he's definitely on the bottom.
Right.
Yeah.
And even just like I said, right, when Spectacular Spider-Man came out, if you're going to play a Peter Parker, he's way better.
Yeah, you're going to end up making the choice between Spectacular or Amazing, I think, more than him.
For 4 threat, right, what does he bring? He brings a size 2 throw, which isn't that great. He brings Shock, which Spider-Woman has anyway. At this point.
Yeah.
He's a long move, which is nice, but so is Spider-Woman, and she has stealth.
Yeah. And martial artist.
Yeah, stealth and martial artist, he has a long move and spider senses, which is...
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder... I just can't even think of a scenario now, just given the characters that are out, where you'd ever see him again.
Yeah, it's... There's way better other 4 threat options, and there's a better Peter Parker option too. So
yeah,
who's cheaper? So
either way, right? You got one that's 1 threat less, or one that's 1 threat more, but they're both better than he is. So.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that core box kind of aged out a lot, unless they write new rules for them. you know,
What are you talking about? Zemo is the best character in the game.
Yeah.
He's the only one though.
Last game was Zemo and original Cap, right?
Yeah. Original Cap is still causing like balancing problems for new Avengers, man. I guarantee that's probably why the new Thor is probably not in Avengers, because of OG Cap.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, most of them are, you'd never see them on the table anymore. So, but I guess it happens. It was 5 years ago.
Well, now they're going to get anybody who wants to play Web Warriors to pick him up, because he comes in the Web Warriors affiliation box. So,
at least, you'll own the model. You might not use it. And that brings us to the SS of S tiers, Miles.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's out of the 2 leader options, he's the far superior one right now. He's got stealth, web swing, a steal, a throw and his kick. So when that goes off, that's great. Spider senses.
Yeah, he is so good.
Yeah. And in a lot of lists, just leaving the affiliation for a second, I've used him before as just a backline holder occasionally in defenders, because he just moves up, deals some damage, steals when he needs to, turn. I tend to steal in the later turns, like usually turn 2 through 4, more than turn 1. But he's just a solid character.
Yeah, and his leadership is, really good. Being able to modify skulls once you get past of like it's only defense rolls, and you start looking at like Zemo and anybody else that has rerolls on attacks and how you can make that happen.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I started playing Namor Shield Leadership. I was like, wow, this is really good just for your other rerolls, to be able to reroll them all the time.
Yeah. Just
to unlock the skulls. Do you think they could ever print a leadership for webs that would be like, I'm not going to bring Miles?
Yeah, I think, again, before I played quite a bit of Amazing Spider-Man.
That's true. You're right. You did. Yeah. Okay. Good point.
And, hopefully the affiliation or that next Web Warriors box comes with another leadership. So we'll see.
That'd be cool. And so the last 2, I guess I'll just name them, are Spider-Woman and Venom.
I think Spider-Woman is between A and B. She's kind of in the middle. Stealth, a long move with a steal, and interrogate is good if you can get it off. But she doesn't have spider senses, so martial artist. I mean, everybody just steals out of 2 when they attack her if they can.
Yeah,
which just defeats the purpose. But she's got decent. She's got 4 physical defense, which is not bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
And again, like a long move is and giving it one of the only, besides core Spider-Man, being able to give out shock too is never a bad thing, and poison, right? And she gives them out on her basic attack, it's 5 dice. Every wild before damage is dealt is stun, shock, or poison. So
yeah, she's one of the fusers before damage is dealt, which is so good.
Which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've always really liked Spider-Woman as a piece. I don't know. The long move of stealth and the steal alone just kind of give you a reason to take her.
Last time I played Twitty, he played Spider-Woman and the Black Widow. And I was like, this is really annoying. They're both really fast and hard to target.
Yep.
And so the last character in affiliation is Venom.
And he's my favorite character in Marvel, so don't shit on him.
For me, he's a D.
Oh,
this is totally personal bias of me rolling like crap every time I use Venom. I'm like, okay, let me counterattack with so many snacks. I do 1 damage. I heal 1. Great.
I've had him completely heal himself on playing into him. Yeah.
I think the tough thing with Venom really is the slow move, right?
It's a bummer.
If somebody like Hulk walks up to him, throws him medium, and walks away. Okay, there you go. God forbid he gets, I am the Juggernauted or whatever it is, and thrown long, just off, not even into something, just off into the middle of nowhere.
He's out of the game.
Yeah, pretty much. How do you think, since it's Steven's favorite character, how could he be used effectively?
Well, something I've seen that people are bringing up is bringing him a new human. Goddamn it, New Mutants.
New humans.
Just so he can teleport forward more, just to get that movement tech on him.
That's not a bad idea.
I think that the most effective use of that 4th threat is to leave Ben home and take Spider-Woman instead.
Paint him up really nice, like for your collection case, but don't bring him to the game.
I mean, there are games, right, where if you can backstop him against stuff, or he's fine, but you're totally depending on terrain setup and also moving your characters in a way that he can't be moved away, thrown away.
He's got the web pull that Ghost Spider does.
Yeah, and it's not bad, right? It's a range 4 medium pull, which is not bad at all. But again, if you get thrown long and I walk away, it's your turns when you
use a sad man.
So I guess too, before we close out, while we're on the Venom topic, because I know Steven and I and Nick have all kind of talked a lot about how a symbiote, and there's a lot of crossover here with Webs, how a symbiote faction might play out if they ever release one. What are your thoughts on that? Obviously, the energy would have to be addressed, I think. But
I would love to see it. But I think like having a weakness to energy is their thing, right? They're like strong everywhere else, but energy is supposed to be their weakness, right? Yeah, I mean, but you kind of look at like Convocation, right? Like they have that card that lets you change things from physical to mystic, right? So if they had something like that, I don't know if it should. I don't think Iron Bull should come back every time anyway. If they had something like some card like that, that could help. I mean, right? We all remember. Well, you guys might not, but the glory days of when Doom Prophecy wasn't restricted to Asgard and you could play Carnage Doom Prophecy.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just okay. So I get +5 dice on my attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't get to roll my one. It's right. I don't get to roll my 1 energy defense or my. No, you lose your physical dice, but yeah, still. I mean, because you could heal after you killed somebody, right? You would see games where Carnage would just rampage across the board and just kill everything and heal after every time.
I'm trying to bring
probably not a good thing.
Yeah, probably not. I try to bring him back with custom upgrades and Spider Foes now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
right? Because it's to a minimum of 1 die. So
yeah.
No, you don't anyway.
He's still not good.
You're really trying though, so that's what matters.
I really am, but he just doesn't do enough on his card.
What you got to do is you got to play Web Warriors, and then at 19 play all 4 symbiotes and Miles, because then you can roll your 1 defense die.
Oh, yeah!
Even if it's a skull, you still get to re-roll it.
That's right.
Yeah, I do hope in general they release that affiliation at some point. It'd be really cool. Yeah.
I mean, Carnage in the comics right now is not affected by energy or fire or anything like that, so it's there. You can make it happen.
Just make a beefy 6 threat that
they can do a version of Carnage for sure.
Cool. So that's kind of your thoughts on all these. So just a quick summary. In S, we have Black Cat and Miles. In A, ASM, Amazing Spider-Man, Ghost Spider, Ben, Spectacular Spider-Woman. So pretty much you're going to see I would guess in any given game, you'll see a mixture of at least 3 of those 2 tiers. And then Agent, Venom, Gwenom, Moon Knight, Silver Sable, and B, and then the rest, probably not usable. Daredevil, Venom, and at least Venom for you, Matt, and Old Spidey.
I will say I like Venom. I don't think he's that great in this game. I don't ever play him that often.
It's the slow move, right?
It is.
If he had some sort of web swing or something.
Oh,
yeah, he'd be very powerful. I've taken him in leagues like RAF leagues where other characters get banned, and then he becomes sort of an option. But yeah, well, on that note, so we're running a little bit late too, so I think we can begin to close out. Any last thoughts at all in general, Matt, about Web Warriors? Any kind of pitch?
Yeah, I think if you want to try something different or play a more scenario focused team, I Web Warriors not only plays different, but is, like I said, is a scenario focused team as well, right? So, because Hellfire, right, they'll be snare, but they'll still try and beat the crap out of you. And some of the other scenario teams will do that too. But I would say, give them a try. It's it's like we said, it's not something you just pick up and play, but if you put the time in, there's nothing more fun than spider tracking somebody.
Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight, Matt, it was really awesome to pick your brain about all this, especially some of the stuff you brought up that I've just never thought about before. I was taking some notes here. So, but again, thank you so much for coming on tonight. And I think our next episode after this, we'll be talking with Brian, who we all know here, local, well, more than local TO. He's kind of single-handedly built a lot of the
He's the dad for all New England.
Yeah,
he's New England dad.
Yeah, he'll be on, and I think we're talking a little bit about how to level up your game, which is a good, coming to tournaments and going maybe 2-2 all the time, or 1-3 or something, and how to turn that around into getting better. So some tips and tricks. And which follows up well to this episode, because we're talking about another faction where you can kind of level up your game if you put in the time. So that'll be fun. And then after that, we've got New Mutants we'll probably be talking about, as well as Apocalypse. And so again, Matt, thank you for joining us. And we're live on One. Follow us, pop in the Discord. And as always, well, actually, Matt, do you want to say Godspeed Spider-Man at the end here?
Godspeed Spider-Man.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.